My guest this hour is Joshua Vickery, founder and executive director of Central Florida Community Arts. Joshua, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's so glad to be here, Paul. I appreciate you having me on.
Not a bit. We've been waiting for this for several weeks, and I'm really glad to you're finally here. We were scheduled for you to be in the studio today, and you got busy, and that's really sad because Wednesdays is Porky's Day on the Paul Rogers program, and at 4 o'clock, there's going to be the gall-darndest barbecue brought into the radio station, and you're going to miss it.
Now, Paul, you didn't tell me that. I probably could have moved things around so I could make it for Porky's Day.
Well, we do it every Wednesday, so you'll come out some other time.
That sounds great.
Your organization is fabulous. I knew nothing about it until we were introduced a few weeks ago. Very, very active in Central Florida, many and varied programs, and just on what little bit I've been able to find out, this organization really, really deserves your support. Central Florida Community Arts. Joshua, tell us a little bit about it, please.
Absolutely. We are a nonprofit arts organization that really exists to give every artist in Central Florida a cultural platform to connect, serve, and perform while advancing the arts here in Central Florida. So we consist of a 275-voice community choir, a 70-piece community orchestra, a kids program with almost 100 kids involved, a pro singing group, and now we have a School of Performing Arts right in the heart of downtown Orlando at the Dr. Phillips Performing Arts building right by Lake Ivanhoe on Ivanhoe Boulevard and Orange Avenue.
Well, that sums it up nicely, and then thanks for being on our show today.
Absolutely.
No, I'm kidding you. You guys are a very, 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 very busy organization. Tell me how it all came to pass.
Well, I was in music ministry for a while, and I was then with Disney Entertainment, and I've directed choirs and done shows here in town for a while, but we just realized that there really wasn't a place for the local artist who maybe is not getting paid to do what they do as a professional to use their gifts and to have a platform. So we started the choir actually as a business. It was Central Florida Community Choir back in 2010. And we had thought, if we have 50 singers show up, we'll do some cool special events and some performances and give back to the community. We had 150 singers show up to our very first rehearsal.
So you were hoping for 50 and you tripled it.
We did. We were hoping for 50 and had 150 showed up to the very first rehearsal just 2 years ago.
There's a law in business that says find a void in the market and fill the void. And this is the poster child for that saying.
Well, yeah.
Seriously, it could not have been otherwise. If there wasn't a need for this, you would have hoped for 50 and 26 would have showed.
Right, yeah. We do feel like we found the niche for people to really use their gifts of all kinds, and that's why everything's grown so quickly and exploded in the last 2 years.
So you started with the choir and then moved to?
We did. We started with the choir, again, as an LLC. We transformed into a nonprofit almost overnight. 9 months, we became a nonprofit arts organization and then started the orchestra and then the kids program. And now, of course, we have the School of Performing Arts. So there's 5 parts of us.
Tell us about your school.
Well, we actually took over the space that used to house the Orlando Opera Company at the Dr. Phillips Performing Arts building. Our roommates are the Orlando Ballet. And we got this space, renovated it, remodeled it, opened in October. 3,000 square feet of wonderful space in downtown that has our offices and our conference room and some rehearsal space. And in that, we opened up the School of Performing Arts. So we have 25 wonderful teachers that teach all the disciplines of music. And it's cheaper than any other place in town because our nonprofit underwrites a lot of the costs. So very affordable for any artist.
Are you a private school?
Well, we are not really a private school. We are private in the fact that it's under the umbrella of Central Florida Community Arts, which is the nonprofit.
I see. Now, Joshua, let me ask you this. If somebody enrolls at the school, are they working toward getting a degree of some kind?
They're not. It's really just private lessons, like if you would go to take acting classes or if you were going to take a dance class. It's the same thing as for us, if you would take voice lessons or piano lessons or violin lessons. And we do workshops as well about theory and music appreciation and things. But there's not really a degree. It's just to help you get better at your craft.
And what categories of courses are offered?
Wow. Well, for the music disciplines, we actually offer all of them. We have percussion, guitar, French horn, trumpet, trombone, strings, voice, piano, and also we have, that's the private lessons, and then we have workshops. We have dance workshops, theory, we have audition workshops. So you name it, we're doing it.
This is fascinating. You mentioned also acting. Do you have acting classes?
We do. We have acting workshops. Of course, there are ways for actors to get involved in all of our shows that we do. We do large shows. We do our big concerts at Northland Church in Longwood, Florida. So our last Christmas show, we had 3,289 tickets sold to our Christmas show. So actors are involved in those shows as well, but we also offer classes through the school.
Was that one show?
That was two nights. So a lot of people over 2 nights. Our wonderful home of Northland holds 3,100 people.
That's what I was going to ask. I wondered what kind of a venue that you had used that would have seated that many people. But you did beautifully with it. That's wonderful.
Well, it was only our 4th major show that we had done. So we're excited that our patronage has grown so fast. And we're hoping for bigger and better things for the future. We're about to do this spring a huge Disney show called When You Wish. And we hope that your listeners will come out and support that. Tickets are only $10 for all of our shows, so they're affordable to anybody and everybody.
Well, I'm not going to allow you to leave the show for quite a while yet. But before we get off of the show today, I need to have a pledge from you that you will begin to alert me to when your shows are going to be and what the venue is and what the ticket prices are and times and all of that so that I can give you some publicity.
Absolutely. Well, we would love that.
This is a wonderful organization, and it's important. You're filling an incredibly wonderful void, or what would have otherwise been a void, perhaps, in a very large metropolitan area. And we barely know one another, but I'm so proud of what you're doing. It's really, really terrific. So let's be sure, but then we'll move on here in a minute to more about the school and more about your concerts. But let's be sure that you stay in touch with me and our radio station so that we can be telling the folks exactly when your shows are going to be. This is
Absolutely,
wonderful.
Absolutely, Paul. I would love that. I would love for your listeners to know all about what we're doing in the community, and would love to talk with you about how we serve. That's the heartbeat of who we are.
Well, that's why you're successful. You're doing it because you're passionate about it, and it becomes successful almost out of its own momentum generated by those thoughts. Do you also have anything to do with painting and sculpture or anything like that?
We haven't really gotten into the visual arts as much as we'd like to. That is one of our goals. With how we exploded so quickly, we just wanted to be a choir in the beginning, and then all of these other opportunities have been thrown into our lap, really, in the last 2 years. And so visual arts is a place that we are headed. We have space here in our building downtown where we are going to really be able to showcase local artists and their work. And then we're collaborating with some other arts organizations. Art House of Orlando is one of those organizations that we're collaborating with, like even for our shows. So our big Disney show that will happen in May, in the lobby, there will be lots of local artists who will be doing artwork and selling their artwork at that show as a pre-show. So we're beginning to dive into that a little bit, but we hope to do much more.
So that will come to pass inside of the organization, sort of its own volition, and when the time is right. But you are offering early opportunity to explore in that direction and kind of get it started. Would that be
absolutely.
A fair
and right
description?
Now it's more, sir. Right now it's more collaborations with those arts organizations that do that. But we set a 5-tier goal that was a 5-year vision for us that we set in 2011.
Okay, Joshua, hold that thought. We're coming up. It's radio. We're coming up on a break, and we'll take a couple minutes and we'll be back. Hold that thought, because that's where we're going to start when we come back with Joshua Vickery, founder and executive director of Central Florida Community Arts, here on the Paul Rogers Show on WBZW. My guest is Mr. Joshua Vickery, founder and executive director of Central Florida Community Arts, an organization with which I am just becoming familiar. And honestly, Joshua, you guys are terrific.
Thank you, Paul. I appreciate it very much.
And I'm so glad you joined me, and I want to learn a lot more about what you're doing. Tell us about the service that you've provided to the various nonprofits in the area.
Yeah, absolutely. That really is the heartbeat of who we are. We partner with other local nonprofits and charities, and we bring the arts at no cost to help them with their missions and help them with their goals. So whether it be fundraising galas or special events, we've partnered with at least 42 other nonprofits in the last 2 years, ranging from raising money from pediatric cancer to Coalition for the Homeless to AIDS awareness. We've done it.
And I'm aware of a camp that you have provided for underprivileged children. Tell us about that and the reactions that you get when you share the musical arts with these kids.
Yeah, absolutely. We did our first art summer camp last summer and have great plans to do another one this year. But we put on an arts camp for about 100 kids, and 60 of them were kids that were underprivileged from places like the Boys and Girls Club of America, the Coalition for the Homeless, Children's Home Society. And we scholarshiped those kids and brought them in and put on a full week of an arts camp with singing and dancing and acting, and then put on a big showcase at the end of the week. And we got incredible reactions. The parents, of course, were thrilled, but the caseworkers with some of these kids said that they saw more improvement in these kids in the week that they were with us than in months of therapy. So just proves that the arts and music is a great healer of the soul.
Music hath charms.
Yes, absolutely.
I come from a musical family. My mother was quite a fine concert pianist quite a long time ago. And I have a brother who was a very highly regarded and noted opera singer. He spent 23 years in Europe and sang lead tenor in every major opera house over there. So
wow. I'm
kind of familiar with the effect that music has on people. I am a particular fan of the doo-wop groups from the 1950s.
Oh, awesome.
So my brother Guy and I are kind of poles apart on the centerpiece of our interests. But I like music of all kinds, and I'm sure that some of these children might have been the first time they were ever exposed to anything like this. And you would have to believe that some of those children have musical talent, and maybe because they were at your camp, that talent kind of stirred in them and they want more.
Well, we would hope that would be the case, and we did see some of that in that week, in those only short 6 days that we had them. We saw confidence blossom, and we did a camp called the Theater of Dreams, and at the end of the camp,
I love it.
Yeah, so many of them were able to get up and talk about what their dreams were, and so many of them did say a singer or an actor or a dancer, and so hopefully we instilled in them just to continue that dream.
Well, if they decide to pursue that, and some of them will, you can be sure, and you'll be the reason why, and you can take great pride in that. But if they decide to pursue that, they will quickly learn that it does take a lot of work. It's not anything that just falls out of a tree.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And we have had the opportunity to instill that. We took on 22 of those kids and incorporated them into our full year-round season of arts programming for our kids. So 22 of them have been with us through our fall season and now into our spring season. So we're partnering with them to hopefully help them with their dreams.
How wonderful. A line from a great country song, if you're big star bound, let me tell you, it's a long, hard ride. And it is. I mean, I know how hard my brother worked and continues to work, and just staying in physical shape to sing like that is an effort. It
really is. Yeah, and that's part of the reason why we want to open our school, because there's one thing with just having natural talent, but then add in all of the techniques and taking care of yourself. We want people to be able to sing for years to come.
What do you do for your funding?
Well, since we are so new, we haven't really dived into grant writing a lot yet, because you need 3 years of activity. So a lot of our funding is through membership dues and private donors, people who have caught the vision and understand the importance of what we're doing in our community and have partnered with us. And then, of course, a little bit of profit from our concerts and things that we do. So our funding has come mostly from the private sector at this point.
And I hope you look forward to continuing to receive an adequate amount of funding to keep your organization going. It's so worthwhile. Now, you have a website, CFCArts.com. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. CFCArts.com.
Central Florida Community Arts, CFCArts.com. It's brand new? The site is new?
Brand new. It just launched on Monday, and it's gorgeous, so go check it out.
Wow. I was on there this morning, and it looks really great. It's only been up for 4 or 5 days?
It's been up just for 3 days.
Wow.
So we're very excited about it. We had an old website, but we really had some things that we wanted our patrons and our supporters to really be able to capture when they go there. We wanted them to showcase our community partners. We wanted to showcase our corporate sponsors. So we had some redesign to our website done.
Well, because this is a community effort, I want to urge all of our listeners. I'd like to be able to insist, but I can't. I'd like to urge our listeners to go to CFC. Central Florida Community, CFCArts.com, and check out what's going on with Joshua and his wonderful organization, Central Florida Community Arts. Now, the choir. The choir has now grown to 200 people or more?
We actually have reached 275 singers. We kicked off our spring season this past Monday night. We had to close registration 2 weeks ago because we reached our capacity. So we have 275 singers right now.
What is the largest number you've ever put on stage at one time?
We had 200 in our Christmas show, so we're trying to figure out how we can get 75 more singers up there. But applications keep coming in every single day, so our teams and our board are going to get creative about how we continue our mission of letting every singer be a part of this organization. So at this point, we've cut it off at 275, but we're trying to be creative how we can make that even grow larger.
I sang years ago in a barbershop chorus, and I think we had 56 on stage, and I thought that was a lot.
275 artists is a lot. It is.
It is, and I'll bet you the sound that you make is glorious.
Yeah, it's really exciting. There's some videos and things on our website that you can check out. You can go to YouTube and look us up, and you can see things from our shows. But it's a really great choir, and I instill in them not try to just have great musicality, but to storytell and to sing with passion. So they're really a great group to watch perform.
Do you direct?
I do, yes, sir. I direct.
I had a feeling. I didn't know that. I was taking a stab there, but I said to myself, yeah, Joshua, he's doing hands-on on this one.
Yeah, a choir director is the heart of who I am, and I also get to be the executive director of the organization. So I'm learning business things as I go, but I'm an artist myself, and I love directing our choir. I have a wonderful team around me that help me in all the other areas, but I do still direct the choir.
I should put you and my brother in touch. He lives up in the Philadelphia area, and he's not singing as much as he used to. In fact, I don't know whether he's singing much anymore at all, but it's a shame if he stopped. We keep bugging him.
We can start a campus up in Philadelphia or up in.
He's the man. He and his wife both teach music at the Westminster Choir College in Princeton, New Jersey. Yeah. My guest is Joshua Vickery, who is founder and executive director of Central Florida Community Arts. Joshua, if you'll hold on through the break, we'll have a little news, and we will be right back with more wonderful discussions with this fine gentleman.
Don't get the blues, get all the news.
Joshua, are you still there?
I am still here, yes.
I haven't driven you away yet.
Keep listening. We'll get better.
Effervescent evanescence. I love the English language. I have, in all of my life, have been deeply in love.
Is that an example of onomatopoeia?
I don't remember. I had an uncle Monopia, but I had no aunt Monopia. All right. Joshua Vickery, founder and executive director of Central Florida Community Arts. Yes, and it is Victory because, Joshua, you and your group have put together an amazing organization in a very short 2+ years. Is that about right? Maybe in the third year?
2 years, yeah. 2 years ago is when we had our first rehearsal.
I love the tripartite nature of what you're trying to do, connecting, serving, and performing. You're aiming to create a family that allows people to use their talents and abilities and be able to sing, play instruments, and perform together while building lasting connections. That's really, really neat. And then you have a service aspect to what you're doing because you're giving back to the community. You're providing concerts, you're providing music lessons, and et cetera for a whole bunch of young folks. And then performance, that's where the folks really have the fun because the people that get involved in your organization who get up on the stage, for example, in your choir, and really act out what they've been practicing for all this time. It's a wonderful organization. I'm proud of you guys.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
What's next on your agenda? What's the next performance? Something that folks could attend.
Well, we actually just entered into our spring season, so we're going into a whole nother season of concerts. So in April, we will have our International Orchestra concert. So our wonderful Central Florida Community Orchestra will be presenting an evening of great music, about 75 players at Downtown Baptist Church right here in the heart of downtown Orlando.
Do you have dates for that?
We do. It is April the 5th, Friday, April the 5th.
Mm-hmm.
And then we will have our kids program at the end of April here at our home at Dr. Phillips Performing Arts Building in the Orlando Ballet Main Hall. And they're doing a Disney showcase called Once Upon a Vacation. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And then May 9th and 10th is our big show at Northland Church called When You Wish, and it'll be a fabulous concert of all the best of Disney music, incorporating the orchestra, the choir, and our dance team with lots of great creative elements and production elements that will blow any audience member away.
I'm probably in a very small minority of people whose favorite Disney character is Jiminy Cricket.
He's a great one.
I have always loved, ever since I was a little kid, always loved Jiminy Cricket. And when he sings When You Wish Upon a Star, it just brings tears to my eyes.
Well, that will be in the show, Paul, so you'll have to come see it just to be able to hear that song.
And I have a grandson who's now 25, but when he was a little boy, he looked just like Jiminy Cricket. And I called him that, too, for a little while. He lives in Los Angeles. God knows what he's doing out there. I hope he's behaving.
Hopefully he's got a Jiminy Cricket keeping him straight up.
Well, he's musical. He's writing songs and playing them and waiting on tables, and he's got a sister that's a very talented singer and dancer as well. But Jiminy Cricket, he was a cool guy. He was really cool. He was a star.
Absolutely.
And When You Wish Upon a Star, what a neat name for a show. When You Wish. It's one.
Well, we're taking all the wishes and dreams of Walt Disney and all the wonderful music that he created and putting that into a show. And we will have songs from movies and shows like The Lion King, The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Hunchback of Notre Dame, Newsies. So there'll be and then we're doing a Disney Spectacular medley that has 40 old school Disney songs that every single person will remember. So it'll be a night to remember When You Wish, May 9th and 10th.
Well, we're gonna jump on that one and give you a lot of publicity. So a couple of weeks ahead of time, be sure you get back in touch with us for all these things, because I do want to stay connected. And I do want to know about these concerts so that the public can know. Suppose one of our listeners has a child that would be interested in getting involved and maybe taking advantage of some of your services. Is that a possibility?
Absolutely. So we have a full children and youth arts program that encompasses the seasonal productions that they do, workshops, and then also the classes here at the school. So there are lots of opportunities for kids to be involved, and they can find out. There's a whole page for our kids on our website where parents can find out more information about that.
And the website is CFC, that's Charlie Frank Charlie, arts.com, CFCArts.com, to find out what's going on with the Central Florida Community Arts Organization.
Yes, sir.
You are a nonprofit.
We are, absolutely.
And you are appealing to people, artists, if you will, of every age, offering them a platform to connect, serve, and perform. And I highly advise and recommend that our listeners get in touch with you. If you're all interested in music and the arts, this is a wonderful organization. And you, Joshua, you hit something at just the right time, something that was needed, and the evidence of that is what you told me very early on. You thought you'd have 50 people show up for a choir opportunity, and 150 came.
Yes, sir. We do feel like we found a niche. We've been able to give the average person a platform to use their gifts, and in turn use that to serve the community. So we think we have found a niche.
Okay, here's the deal. The next time you're on the show, we want you to come on a couple of weeks ahead of one of your big shows. Make sure it's a Wednesday, so you can enjoy some of the barbecue out here.
Okay. I would love that.
Because Wednesdays is Porky's Day on the Paul Rogers program, and Steve White brings way too much food in. We need to go out here on I-4 and stop 5 or 6 truckers and have them come in to help finish the food. But it's absolutely delicious and wonderful. You can help yourself to that when you come in. We'll do it on a Wednesday, and you'll bring maybe some CDs or some other kind of recorded music that has been produced by your groups, and we'll talk some more about some of the shows that are coming up. I've been so happy to have you on the show today.
Thank you so much, Paul, and I appreciate you giving a shout-out to all your listeners about our mission, about our vision, and thank you for your support.
Not a bit. Please come back.
Absolutely. Thank you, Paul.
Yep.
Take care.
Have a great day. My guest, Joshua Vickery, founder and executive director of Central Florida Community Arts. I highly recommend to our listeners you go to their website, CFC, that's Charlie Frank Charlie, Arts, CFCArts, or CFCArts if you want to spell it out in a different way, .com, and you'll learn a lot about what they're doing. This is
what a project to take on. I'm
telling you, and he and another fellow who have been very involved in music decided that they were going to do this. They opened the door, asked
and in 3 years, it's become this big thing.
Daryl, they're just starting their third year. They already have a building of their own, and they've developed this 200-voice choir and 75 new applicants. They're going to put 275 voices on stage.
It's incredible.
It's absolutely unbelievable. And right here in our home area. What a great thing.
I wonder what the listeners think.
Well, they're certainly welcome to tell us by calling us at I know that's where you were going. 407-774-8255 if you'd like to talk. I should have told you that earlier because you'd have been more than welcome to talk to Joshua, but you can still get in touch with him by going to his website, CFCArts, Central Florida Community Arts, CFCArts.com. Great fella. People like that all over our community.
Yeoman's work.
Doing people like that all over our community, doing great stuff. And we, as residents, are the beneficiaries. It's a great country, Darrell. It's a great country. And there are great folks that step up and do that. Well, anyway, you're listening to the Paul Rogers radio program on 1520 WBZW. Thank you for joining us.